mim in the beginning become a place. Jadi kataba become maktab. So this is a desk called maktab. Right? To'ama mean eat. Right? Restaurant become mat'am. So you put in the beginning the word mim. Become a place. To'am mean food, right? Place for food called mat'am. So sajada mean sujud. A place for sujud called what? Masjid. Right? So anytime you might find the Quran, the word start by mim, right, is mostly refer to a place. Right? And who give the word masjid? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This in the Quran, right? Because the most important in salat is what? The sujud. The closest place between us to Allah is sujud. So therefore, it is important sometimes when you need something, you ask Allah during sujud. Wasjud waqtarib. You sujud, you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Brother Pohan mentioned about the hadith, you know, that 7 people will enter Jannah, right? And before that, when people are all suffering, right? You know, sometimes we know this hadith, but we never try to visualize how look like on that day. On that day, right? People were coming like Lucas, right? Apa itu? Yang suka makan Lucas ya? Apa namanya? Yang suka makan padi itu, binatang kecil itu. Lucas ya, Lucas ya. Jadi bayangkan orang pada lari semua, kumpul satu tempat, right? The sun is very close, right? You know, because the situation is so severe, some people will say to Allah, Allah, we don't care. You're going to put me in Jannah or in hellfire, but you don't want to stay here. We don't know yet the hellfire, how it look like. So I can imagine it. So in that moment, Allah will call people, 7 people. You, under His shade, right? So it's test for you, inshallah. Who do 7 people? Who will get the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The first one, Imamun Adil, a just ruler. And it's very important. Some people, when they say Imam, mean Imam Salat. No. All of you Imam. If you marry, you become husband, wife, you become Imam. At home, you are Imam. Right? Imamum Adil. So imagine if you be a husband or be a wife and you treat your family justly, your dua accepted. Right? An example, if you are husband, you come home, right? And you smiling, you play with your children, you do justice. But if you come home, you still bring your work, and your kid want to play with you, go to your mom, so you don't do justice. Your dua will not accept it. Right? So that's number 1, Imam Adil. What's number 2? You don't need to be in order. If you know it, what's number 2? A man was invited by a beautiful woman. And he said, no. Because of what? I fear Allah. Because maybe man said, no, because my wife here. My sister here, right? So we not got the shed on that day. Okay, that's number 2. What's number 3? Right? Let's put this one to the last one. The one who give charity with the right hand and the left hand, you don't know. What does it mean? He's so sincere. You know, sometimes we have, for example, fundraising. You don't look at what's in your wallet. You just put it. Right? There. Number 4. A man who was alone, nobody there. He remembered all his sin and then he cried. That will give it a shade. Right? Number 5. Anybody can guess? Number 5. Right? Anybody? Okay, number 1. What number 1? The just ruler. Number 2. Huh? A man was invited by opposite, right? Laki-laki ganteng gak digoda perempuannya. Right? Number 3, a man who's alone, as he cry. Right? Number 4, who give. Right? Right? And then he said, washabun, a young man who are istiqamah, nasha fi ibadatillah. Why young men? Young men who are what? Committed. Because old men, of course you're old already. What are you going to do, right? But you are young, you have everything, and you are istiqamah, you are straight. Allah will call on that day. Right? So and then also what? The man or woman attached to the masjid. In Arabic, the word called mu'allaq. Mu'allaq mean, you know, when we make, you know, sometimes we make a tour, we go to camping or somewhere. You put the program, for example, where we going to pray Dhuhr. So masjid is not only masjid only, but also the salat always in his mind. Mu'allaq. But also in the mean masjid, it means when he is in the masjid, he forget everything. Because he said the true believer in the masjid, like the fish on the water. Yeah? How long can fish on water? The hypocrite in the masjid like what? Like the fish on the land. Nasabar. Imam read a little bit longer, it was crazy Imam read. We have to change the Imam. Right? No. What is Musa alayhi salam, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to the hadith and the Prophet said, Ya Allah, what is the most beloved place to you? He said the masjid. And what is the most disliked place to you? Anybody can guess? Huh? Mall, yeah. The mall. But people can enjoy the mall for a long time, huh? Yeah, right. No, what we can find in the masjid. If you read Surah Nur, ayah 35, Allah said, Allahu nurus samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heaven and the earth. The light. No, I need Allah light. Where we can find that light? The next ayah, fihi buyutin, that means in the house of Allah. What the house of Allah? Is masjid. So if you need, you know, your mind, your heart, that you gain light a lot, come to masjid a lot. Right? And then Allah after that, Allah mentioned who those people who like come to masjid. People may think Ustad, Imam. No. He said, Rijalun la tulhim tijaratun wala bayun an dhikrillah. He said, regular men, employees, farmer, student, teacher, right? But their work, their business did not distract them from coming to the masjid. Right? So what we can find in the masjid? The light of Allah. What do you mean the light mean? Maybe, you know, before you come to masjid, you have some problem. Family problem, financial problem. And then you come to masjid, suddenly Allah wants to open something. Right? Now, the one who are lazy come to masjid. What's going to happen? The following ayah, if you continue the ayah, 2 ayah after that, he said, Allah mentioned about apa? Aw kadhulumatin fi bahrin lujjiyin yaghshaw mawjun min fawqihi shahab. It's like the deep, like the darkness in the deep of ocean. You know, this American became Muslim because of this ayah. You know Gary Miller is from Canada. His father wanted him to be like a bishop, not only pastor, like a bishop. So he went to get a PhD now. But in order to have this level, he has to study all religions, Hinduism and all this. And then also have to study Islam. Right? So when he started reading about this, about the Quran, he said, wait a minute, this is the Quran. You know, the Quran was revealed to Muhammad. you know, I think better before I read this Quran, I have to know this man. Is he prophet or not? So he started reading the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he found in many occasions can convince him he's a prophet. You know, if I tell to you the story, no, you know the story, but we never reflect on the story. The first one is said when he was in the cave, when he was hiding before Hijrah, right? And Abu Jahal came, right? So Abu Bakr can see their feet. And he said to Muhammad, what? If they bow down, they will see us. And Muhammad was calm. I said, do you think only you and us, only you and me? Allah the third. La takhaf, inna Allah ma'al. Fear not, Allah with us. You understand? Gary Merrill said, if Muhammad was not prophet, he will panic. You're right, man. We try to find no escape. So his calmness is proof he's prophet. Another occasion when he read the Sirah, the Quraysh went to Jews. He said, you know, we always tell Muhammad liar and all this, but we didn't have proof. And you had the book. Can you find something that we can defeat Muhammad? I said, okay. Ask him 3 questions. If he cannot answer, he's not prophet. If he answer all, he's not prophet. If he answer only one, he's not prophet. If he answer 2, and he cannot answer 1, he's prophet. So they're happy. I said, hey Muhammad, I have 3 questions. I said, number 1, tell me about the king whose kingdom read the east and the west. Number 2, tell us about the young people who slept more than 300 years. And tell us also about the ruh, or spirit. Muhammad said, okay, tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow. The next day came, Muhammad, where's the answer? I'm sorry, Jibril didn't come. Right? Until almost 1 month, Rasulullah couldn't answer. You understand? So, how Gary Miller analyzed this? He said, if he was not prophet, he will be busy asking anybody. Ask the rabbi, do you know about the story, man? We was calm, I don't know. Right? Of course, then Allah revealed Surah Kahfi, Surah Kahfi, and answered all these questions. Right? And then, when he asked about ruh, Ulil ruhu min amri rabbi, concerning ruh, only Allah knows. So he answered 2, he didn't answer. Right? So anyway, so Gary Miller, he analyzed the story of Muhammad. He said, yes, he is a prophet. Then he studied about Quran and he became Muslim. Okay? So one day, he liked fishing, he liked, ride a boat. He was with his friend. So because the journey is a little bit long, right? So he used he read Quran. Yeah. Maybe you need a kursi. Yeah. So he was reading Quran. So his friend asked him. He said, yeah. It's like ada 2 sini. So what did I say? Sorry. So he read Quran. His friend said, what's that? I said, this, what you call the Holy Quran. Oh. Right? Can I see it? You know something, when Allah wants to give a guidance, so the man just opened. When he opened, was this ayah. I forgot, the lady came here, used to be Christian lady, came to America and gave lecture? Ibu apa? Apa? Irina Handoy. The same Irina Handoy, you know, when the first thing she opened the Quran was Surah Al-Ikhlas. So this man, he was, when he opened, right, because he is a sailor, you know, Allah talk about the ocean. في أو كظلمات في بحر لجي, like the darkness in the deep of ocean, surrounded by darkness. I mean, above darkness, right? And then also there is a wave. And the Quran also there is a, what you call ombak, the wave under the ocean. So the first question, he said, "Hey, Gary, is Muhammad a sailor?" I said, "No. He never see the ocean. He's from Makkah to Medina. He never passed Jeddah." I said, "How a man who never see the ocean can talk about ocean?" You know, the darkness in the deep of ocean. You know, if you swimming on the seashore, in pantai, right? Not deep, you can see your friend. But if you could continue about 100 feet, for example, it's dark because the sun cannot go. Right? Not only that, the Quran said there's ombak also, there's wave. 50 years ago, people know the wave is in the top of the ocean. Right? But the Quran said no. So I think the Soviet Union, one time they used submarine and they went down and he found yes. You know, if the wave, the ombak in the top 100 feet and down is 200 feet. If you don't believe, you come home, bring the water in the bucket, and you hit like this, you will see also the said, how did Muhammad know? And he became Muslim. Right? But this ayah talk about the one who lazy come to masjid like that, like a darkness. There's no light. Right? So therefore the Prophet said, "Idha ra'aytum," if you see a man or woman come regularly to the masjid, bear witness, he's the believer. You know, very interesting, in some country, like in India, in Pakistan, difficult to find a space for a woman in the masjid. And mostly because misunderstood the hadith. There's 4 hadiths. The Prophet encouraged women to come to the masjid. Because women become what? The first school, the first madrasa. If women didn't learn, you know, how we can raise the children? Right? If you historically, Masjid Medina, from Muhammad SAW, Abu Bakar, Umar, until now, always full with the woman also. That's one proof. Prophet wife, mostly come to the 5 times a day, they come to the masjid. Right? Only one hadith mentioned that for woman it's better to pray at home. Not only that, in the corner of the room. Right? This hadith, Asbabun Nuzul, was revealed. That is by a Sahabi by name Nu'man. This Sahabi is very jealous. And his wife is good looking. So every time this wife comes to masjid, always fighting. You know, how many people see you then? So Rasulullah SAW, to keep the family, right? Because to keep family is very important. So he said, for you, I think it's better for now on, you know, pray in the room and just nobody can see you. Even something, if you pray in the room, the husband worries somebody's look at her. Right? That's one hadith. Nuzul, that's the reason for that. But people took that as serious. So a woman, and very interesting, sometimes also even in, now alhamdulillah they have a lot of improvement. In some masajid in America also, most the place for women is like closet. Yeah, we have some place here. Ada share if you want. Yeah. The woman is not like, right? You know, Jeffrey Long, he is a scientist. He became Muslim, and he tried to convince his wife. And so one day he brought them with his daughters to the masjid. A man with long beard. I said, brother, there is no woman today on Friday. So they used to come to church together, and suddenly somebody said, no woman. Right? Yeah. Sometimes some masajid didn't have the etiquette. In Seattle, there is a man was learning about Islam. Right? And I said, okay. So he came to the masjid. Of course, the masjid have entrance. Woman entrance, man entrance. He don't pay attention because so he got to the woman entrance. A man was just grabbing and said, brother, do you see that? And he never come again to the masjid again. So he went to, after 1 year he met me when I was in Olympia. He said, Alhamdulillah, God still give me life. I hate Islam because I just come to masjid to take shahada. Somebody was there with me and ran away. And then Alhamdulillah, I meet you and all. Right? Yeah. So therefore, there is many ahadith. Rasulullah SAW encouraged the people to come to masjid. What we can in the masjid again, according to ayah? The light, nur. So therefore, why is it a sunnah when you come to masjid, you read our dua what? Allahumma aj'al fi qalbi nura, wa fi basari nura, wa fi lisani nura. Allah give light to our eyes, our ear. Wa an yamini nura, wa an shimali nura, wa fawqi nura, wa tahti nura, nura, nura. And what's dua when you enter the masjid? Allahumma aftah li abwaba rahmatik. Oh Allah, open for me the gate of your mercy. What does it mean? Maybe before you come to masjid, you have lot of problems stuck here. Allah open for me. Oh, young man want to engage with the woman, but she's still not answered yes yet. Right? You come to masjid and make dua. For the young people, very interesting. Before I come to Egypt, the ustad told me, if you naksir, if you want to marry a woman, you don't need to chase her. If interesting, make dua. And he teach me the dua. Okay? So, when I was there, before the exam, we have many Malaysian students. Malaysian, they have special building for them. Rumah Johor, Rumah Pahang. For women special, for men special. So I used to go to the woman area and memberikan bimbingan before the test, because their Arabic is weak. So one day, I remember my teacher. So I interesting with this one of the lady. Right? Okay. Then I came home, I make that dua. Allahumma ja'al fi qalbiha mawaddatan wa rahmatan li. Allah put in her heart love and mercy upon me. Okay? The next day, she came early and then give me the tea and all. When everybody left, I said, Ustaz nak tanya ya. I want to ask. I said, Astaghfirullah, no. I just want to see the power of the dua. Because I'm not ready to marry yet on the time. But that's work. That's the dua. Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially dua in masjid. Because dua have to know also what? The time. What is the best time for make dua? The timing. Right? During what? During Arafat, this time of Arafat, right? During Laylatul Qadr, this time. Right? But also you have to know a place. Right? So the best place what? Masjid Haram, Masjid Nabawi, Masjid Aqsa, and other masjid. Right? The place also, you have to know. Another hadith, the Prophet said, when you make wudu at home and you come to the masjid, Can you imagine that? Every step, when you rest your feet like this, Allah will elevate your status in Jannah. When you put down, Allah wipe out your sin. Can you imagine? How many sin we have? Just coming to masjid, Allah erased it. Another hadith said, everything comes to masjid, Allah prepared the house in the masjid. And many, many hadiths, yeah, they encourage. So therefore, one of the sheikh, his name Aid al-Qarni, very famous in the TV, Saudi Arabia and Arab country. He said that when somebody died, the first question, what is his connection to the masjid? In Arab, so they call hamamatul masjid, like a bird, apa juga, pigeon of the masjid. Di masjid kan sudah ada burung apa namanya? Burung gereja ya. Yeah. There's many bird like to stay in. Yeah. So if he said he is very close to the masjid, he said, Abshir, give good news. Right? A man by the name Sa'id al-Musayyib. When he going to die, his family was crying. He said, please don't cry. Because Alhamdulillah, in 40 years, the adhan never sound in the masjid except I was in masjid. How long? 40 years. And the Sahaba mostly, the Tabi'in, when they come to masjid, they make sure they don't miss the first takbir, takbiratul ihram. Right? So one day, Abu Bakr, he had a guess. He can hear that Rasulullah start praying. He was kesal, but he cannot kick out the guest, non-Muslim guest, right? So Alhamdulillah, the guest left and come to the masjid. Rasulullah, Allahu Akbar, make ruku. Now Abu Bakr said, Alhamdulillah, because if the Imam make ruku and you join ruku, you get one rakat. That means you not miss one rakat. Alhamdulillah. And because of that, Jibril came. Before, when he said, Allahu Akbar, no Sami Allah. But because Abu Bakr said Alhamdulillah, Allah asked Jibril, Ya Muhammad, say, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allah did hear the one who said Alhamdulillah. Who is Alhamdulillah? That's the story of the why Sami Allahu liman hamida. Yeah? And also, it is very important also, people come to masjid not easy. I was studying in Egypt. I have many friends. Some friends lazy come to masjid. They are in Azhar as student. But majority of my friend who become regular come to masjid because of their parent used to bring to the masjid. Right? The story about one sheikh, a sheikh, he with his friend, he went to Masjid Haram, pray there. On the way back, he heard the adhan was called for Asar time. So he, like in freeway, he looked around if there is masjid. He couldn't find masjid and said he saw masjid like abandoning masjid. If menarat only like this, maybe this long time nobody pray there. But he saw a car. There should be somebody there. So he stopped by. When he went inside, he saw a young boy, maybe 14 years old, reading Quran. He said, Assalamu alaikum. The boy said, Wa alaikum salam. Look like, why you came here? He said, nobody pray here. He said, young boy, did you pray Asar? I said, not yet. Let me pray Asar. Oh, okay. He called Adhan. He did Iqamah. When Imam, he went and said, Allahu Akbar, the young boy said, Alhamdulillah, Jama'ah Aidan, Alhamdulillah, there is Jama'ah too. Can you imagine the Imam said, Alhamdulillah, there is Jama'ah too. So after finished praying, Imam looked at him. What did you say? He said, Imam, maybe if I answer, you said I'm crazy. Yeah, why you say that? I said, look, Imam, my father used to bring to masjid every day. then I love masjid. Every time I go, I always come to masjid. And then I used to pass by this place, and I know this masjid used to be a lot of people come to masjid to read Quran, to pray. No, maybe for years, nobody come to the masjid. So this masjid missing these people. So sometimes I came here to remove what? The loneliness of the masjid. So when you came and pray Jama'ah, so I talked to the masjid. Hey masjid, Alhamdulillah, there's people, the Jama'ah too. Maybe for a long time no Jama'ah. And the Imam said, MashaAllah, you are lucky boy, your father is me. You know, Imam, when before I leave, I used to make the following dua. What dua? Ya Allah, if I am able to remove the loneliness of this masjid, please remove the loneliness of my father in the grave. And the sheikh was crying. Said, how lucky father is that? Because the boy, every time he make dua, what? He connect to his father. Right? Yeah. And the last one, inshallah, but there is some certain etiquette when people come to masjid. Right? So number one, it is sunnah to have wudu at home, not in the masjid. As you are close. Because the hadith said, whoever make wudu from house and then continue. Number two, when you come to masjid, don't forget the etiquette. You have to what? The right feet first. Right? And also very interesting something. Muslim, I think you know the story this before. One day, it was Ramadan. Someone was watching the Taraweeh live from Mecca. And he have non-Muslim neighbor. What are you doing, man? You look at this people praying. After 10 rak'at, and then they break. So he told his friend, in 2 minutes, they're going to pray again. And this is about maybe 1 million people now, the last of Ramadan. He said, how long do you think they need to, to line it up again? I said, how many? He said, million. Oh man, maybe 4 hours, 3 hours. Because I remember they were like Disneyland, right? How to. And suddenly, so they said, so, right? Everybody, Allahu Akbar, rapi semua. Ran up. I said, what? And he asked the man, what is a magical word? They said, so. So in that area, Muslims are good. But when we come to the masjid, they cannot put the shoes on the right place. No, simply. Right? And then make dua, come to masjid. What the dua? Allahumma aftahli abwaba rahmatik. And then pray 2 rakaat. They call what? Tahiyatul masjid. Right? But now, if you come to masjid, they're going to pray in 2-3 minutes. Right? You have to pray what? Qibliyah, right? Fajar. You can combine. So your intention to pray 2 rakaat before Dhuhr or before Asar or before Fajr with the Tahiyatul Masjid. But if you come to masjid and then you sit down, you cannot pray Tahiyatul Masjid. Tahiyatul Masjid is gone already because you sit already. Right? Yeah. And then, of course, Qibliyah, and then also very, very important that when you come to masjid, make sure that you don't have, smell something, right? Because the Prophet Muhammad SAW said, whoever eat garlic or onion, you are in vacation. Don't come to masjid, right? Because you're going to bother too. Bother who? The angels and the people, Jama'ah. Especially in Ramadan. Something we eat, some eat potato, durian, Allah. People, right? And one time I was almost cannot stay. People I think smoke too much and he always And also, when you are sleepy in the masjid, sleep. You go home. Because sometime I was in Olympia a long time ago. There was Tarawih. Of course, the Imam did it a bit longer. A man was sleeping here. And the Imam was reading Surah Al-Waqiyah. You know, in that Waqiyah, Minal mukaththibin ad-dallin. He woke up, Ameen. Is the Ameen, right? The last one, inshallah, everything you do in the masjid will be rewarded. The Prophet said, whoever stay in the masjid after Fajr, stay until come of duha time or shuruk, and then he pray duha, he will get the reward of Hajj. Reward of Hajj. Right? Another hadith, if you are taking salat from, for example, no, between Maghrib and Isha is very close, or Dhuhr and Asr, okay, just wait in the masjid. They call ribat. You will get the reward of ribat. Mean, you know, sometimes when the Muslim, they go to the battle, and at night have to take rest, and somebody have to watching for them. So in the front line, that's called ribat. That means if you die, you are mujahid, right? And also, as best you can, while you are in masjid, either you make the Quran, or make dhikr, or salawat, or you can also watching the good lecture. It's okay. YouTube, lecture. Everything that can make you connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But don't talk about football or talk about the right? Yeah. So let's hope that inshallah we become Arabic called Amirul Masjid. You know Amir? Innama ya'mur masjidullah. The one who make ma'mur masjid. Right? You connect to the masjid. So inshallah in their judgment, when you are connected to the masjid, when people are suffering, Allah will call you. Ta'al, meet ya. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ustaz Joban, and alhamdulillah you explained the benefit for attaching our heart into masjid. But the benefit attaching our heart to the masjid is so many, other than one of the guaranteeing for us into the Jannah inshallah, but also in this dunya, so many things that we can do in our masjid. Not only we come to masjid by the time only to pray, we can also socialize in our masjid. When we come to the masjid, we know exactly, especially when we pray Fajr, I think this is one of the best friend that we have it. We have a lot of friends, but the friend that we met in the masjid, this is one of the best because we know everybody close, make sure that their heart is solely want to get closer to Allah, to worshiping Allah, to make Allah happy with them. And sometimes when something make us absent from the masjid one day, and tomorrow one of our friends gonna asking us, hey, where were you? You know, right? So I realized this one. I myself also realized this one day. I realized this a friend in this sunnah. I think this is truly friend for us actually. But the problem for us when we are living in this country, sometimes the masjid is not close to us. Sometimes we have to drive 10 minutes. Some of us have to drive 15 minutes. The temptation is so high. Sometimes we work so hard, we're so tired, and then we wake up, it's time for that. Do I have to drive again, especially in the winter time? Do I have to go? So many things. So how can probably, this one of the questions, how can we really steadfast? Any given situation, doesn't really matter what happened it is, but we will be in the masjid. Probably Ustaz Joban can give us one of a trick for this one. How can we can achieve this one? And the second one also, we also heard so many, the Joban also explained, there's a 4 hadiths encourage the woman to go to the masjid. Only one hadith saying that the woman is better to pray at home. I argue sometimes this one with my friend. He's an Egyptian. He said, no, my wife stay home. Yeah, so he explained about this. And then Pak Joban also said, you know, when masjid in US sometimes do not treat the woman fairly. I think this is not correct because this is not good. Ustaz Joban said, the mother the one who's the best teacher. So this woman have to be empowered. How can they be the best woman so they can be the best teacher for our children? So therefore, probably question and answer. We open this one for you. We're gonna probably open 3 questions, and then Ustaz Joban will explain to you. If probably one question, then we explain. Please. Okay. Bapak number 1 and Bapak number 2 and that's number 3. That's the sisters over there. Pak, yeah, probably it's already so loud. Yeah, silakan. Waalaikumsalam. Rarely. Okay. Part number 2, yeah. Sister?
Yeah. So I think answer your question, why it is 4 hadith no mention. I think have effect with the culture also, the culture of in the Arab society, something culture in the India and Pakistan, because not only come to about the masjid, right? Even if you go to Afghanistan in some places, so the woman was treated like, in everything just stay home. No rule for woman. Just for Juma because he want to take a break. Feel like masjid and then sleep. I mentioned last time, remember that? In Indonesia, men come to masjid for Juma and after finish salat, what type of masjid? Juma no khutbah. There was khutbah. He came to masjid during adhan time, right? And then he slept. And he woke up during iqamah. So during khutbah, said masjid no Juma, right? And some people, they come to masjid, they still play with Muslims, right? So yes, some ulama said, something maybe you can miss, come late a little bit, but some Muslim every day. And very interesting, I challenge you, that Muslim, when they have appointment with the lawyer, doctor, when they come, early, before the time. Why is the appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't pay attention? Look like, and it's very important, right? Another hadith, when you come to the masjid, you are the first one, what the reward you will get? Like what? Camel. Second one, cow. And then what? Lamb. And then what? Chicken. And then what? Egg. When Imam stood up, Assalamu alaikum, they closed the book. Everybody know the hadith, right? But we still late. Why? Because said camel, cow. They was in the mind. No. if the board of Masjid make announcement, tomorrow who come to Masjid first, we get $10,000. How many will come? They will line up. But if it's, it's come from Allah. If somebody want to promise to give you something, and the one who says Bill Gates, for example, I will give you something. What in your mind? Oh, I should be Bill Gates, man, is the millionaire, right? But your son will say that, Dad, I will give you something. Okay, I know. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You come to person, right? So therefore, why in the hadith said, somebody asked Musa alayhi salam, Musa asked Allah, Allah, can you tell me who's the worst people among my people? He said, the one who come for Friday, because on that time Friday also, the last one. So he said, the one who come to Friday, what? The last one, that's the worst of my people. And he left the first one. And some Muslim, even when they come late, they're happy. Almost 2 hours, that's good. He not feel, oh man, I miss, It's different when somebody come and miss, but he's happy, look like, alas, I almost got come home. Right? What's the question, sister? Okay, yeah, the rule. It is true that the rule different. For men is fardu ain. What fardu ain mean? We have fardu kifaya and fardu ain. What is different? Fardu ain individual have to do it. Right? For example, if I'm tired, Pak Bambang, can you pray for me? Can you do that? Or Ramadan is too long for me. Can you fast for me? No. That's fardu ain. What's fardu kifaya? Somebody else, like pray what? Janazah, pray jama'ah. But not only that. In Islam, we always focus to that ibadah. No. If you live in the city, there's no doctor, it's fardu kifaya. Everybody gets in. If you live in the city, because somebody sick, what you have to do? So to send somebody to learn about medical is in the city, that's important. Another fardu kifaya what again? A tailor, for example. Because how are you wearing the clothes without? Or even something, a bridge. If people go to the masjid, we need to, for example, difficult something like the boat, to building the bridge is become fardu kifaya. Everything that can fulfill the need of the community, they become fardu kifaya. Yeah. So for women, it's not wajib, but encouraging. Right? Yeah. And also, I think, come back to the first question, some people, they consider that masjid is not important for women because women instead have many jobs at home. It is true, right? But if women did not encourage to the masjid, encourage to the mall, everything, but because when women come to masjid, what we find in masjid? They have class, right? And also they meet with the other. Most people come to masjid to be good people, and we need that. Like I mentioned last time, there's a American lady. After she convert and she married with Pakistani guy, and then she's pregnant. The Prophet Umar said, if you do not know Jahiliyah, you don't know Islam. To know Islam, you have to know what? Jahiliyah. So these people live in Jahiliyah before, but we mostly we don't have lived Jahiliyah because we was born Muslim. So to know black, you have to know what? White, right? Day and night. So they know already how they lived before. So when you become Muslim, like he found a diamond. So he want my children really become a good Muslim. So he read a lot of the books about education in Islam until he become boring. When the baby was born, right? She changed now. She don't read the book. Every time she found a good family, right? He asked them, how did you raise your children? Where he find that? In the masjid. Right? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ustaz Jovan. Asking, do we have still? Probably we have another about one session for our question and answer, and then after that we will gonna end this session. Pak, satu. There is another two. No? Okay, Pak. Langsung, Pak. Waalaikumsalam.
So, sleeping is one of the thing that can break your wudu, right? Unless you sleep and sit down like this. I'm sorry, because you are sure it's like this, you cannot have past gas, right? But you sleep like this, you like this, even just 1 second, you are lost in breaking wudu. Okay? So during Jummah time, when you sleep, the wudu and also did not break the reward of uh, of the listening khutbah, right? But you don't get the reward. So you have to be two between breaking, and reward, right? For example, you are Ramadan, right? In Ramadan, after suhoor, you sleep until dhuhr, and you wake up, sleep again, right? After sleep again until almost, people sometimes misunderstood. There is fabricated hadith maudu. No musoim ibadah. The sleeping of the faster, the one who fast, is ibadah. There's no hadith. So sometimes people sleep, brother, you always sleep in Ramadan. Ya akhi, ibadah, ya akhi. That's not true. Right? Yeah. So, come back to and this is also, I think, no, the second question, thing can break also the reward, not the validity of the Jummah. If during Jummah. So Jummah is the problem sometimes. In Jummah we cannot have communication. Right? And unless Imam. For example, during Jummah time, I can say, what time is it? So faqad lago, you break the reward of Jummah. That's the point. So therefore, when somebody sleep, what do you have to do? Some ulama said just give ishara. You say, or just, and some people are sometimes snoring during the Jummah time, right? And some people, they have what you call that, biologically it's easy to sleep. In my city there is a man, when he is alone, nobody there, he sleep. So he ride a train from Bandung to Jakarta, right? So he went to stop in my city called Purwakarta, okay? And he slept in Bandung until Jakarta. So when he come out, he thought it's Purwakarta. I said, man, you were sleeping on the day. And then he come back from Bandung again. So this type of people is Allah forgive. Because there's, like when the ayah was revealed, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum. O you believe, do not raise your voice above the voice of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sahaba, when he talked Muhammad, he never raised the voice. So when the ayah was revealed, the Sahabi didn't want to come to Masjid. Rasulullah too always noticed like this. Why this man? So asked Ali to approach him. What happened? He said, I'm worried. Because his voice is very, very what? The volume of his voice is very wrong. When I was in Egypt, I was studying. There's a friend. He cannot talk low voice, always high voice. So I have a friend. My friend, he was sick. He just came from hospital. He need to take a rest. And this friend who have high voice, high value, when he come always singing or talking. So when he started coming, he said, be quiet. What? Be quiet? So he would come. So this Sahabi, Rasulullah, he worried it because his voice is very low. Rasulullah said, he's exception. For him, it's okay because it's nature for him. His voice is very high. Right? But another thing I think very important, that when you come to masjid, not number one, if you become a board of masjid, is an honor, because you serve the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always put in our mind, don't ask what masjid can do for you, but what they can do for masjid. And also, when you come to masjid, don't be like a boss. You know something in Ramadan? Hey brother, give me Pepsi. Give me. Look like you give command. Try to serve people. Rasul like to serve people. Do whatever you can. Right? And one of the problems, sometimes I go many masajid, not many Indonesian or Malaysian become the board of the masjid. And they want us to be in masjid. No one can volunteer. This is we have to be honored with. There is a woman, her name is Ummu Mahjan. Ummu Mahjan. She is poor, she didn't have knowledge, but she tried to do something. What I can serve the masjid. Anybody know what she did? Cleaner. Become janitor. She always makes sure before Salat, Rasulullah have meeting, because masjid on that time not only for Salat, or people do akikah, do nikah, talk about politics, about the war, is in the masjid. Right? That's what started in the masjid. So, see, this woman always makes sure everything clean. Rasulullah always asked about her. And then she died at midnight. Of course, the Sahaba said, who's this woman? You don't need to wake up the Prophet for janazah. So Sahaba did everything, bury her. So after prayer, Fajr, Rasulullah said, Aina Ummu Mahjan? Where's Ummu Mahjan? Inna lillahi wa inna raji'un. What? You don't tell me. Ya Rasulullah, who's this woman? Rasulullah got angry. He said, this, her status in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And Rasulullah went to the grave and he prayed there. Right? That's Ummu Mahjan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put very high in Jannah because of what? She served the masjid. Right? And there's many hadiths about if you see just dirt in the masjid, when you pick up, this kind of reward. There's many hadiths mentioned about that. Right? So therefore, and the last one, inshallah, according to study, it said only 20 or 15% the youth come to masjid. That's the problem. Right? There's two. Number one, because some masajid did not give motivation to the youth come to masjid. So we have to change the way that we build a masjid. Right? Alhamdulillah, in our masjid, for example, masjid have basketball there. You can play ping pong, you can play badminton there. And then in front they have soccer field. Right? We have restaurant. So as a parent, when you say to your son, let go play in masjid, they're lazy. Said, let me eat in the masjid. Let me play basketball in masjid. That's different. One time when we build this masjid and we have many guests, we have make a tour. There's Somalian people come, want to see the masjid. And then he said, this is gym. What? In masjid gym? This is fitness for women. Woman fitness in the masjid. And then he said, this is restaurant in the masjid. So their idea, masjid is what? Just to pray. And then, man, you're wasting the money, man. He didn't say, because we don't saw the musalla yet. He goes on, right? And he said, the school is the room, right? But in the end, they look one another. They said, maybe this is correct because our children, they don't want to come to masjid. And they like play basketball. So now click. Yeah. So The last one, inshallah, I think uh, encouraging this come to masjid is very, very important. And the best way is the parent also come to masjid. You know, in Seattle, we have 3 church became masjid in 1 year. 3 church became masjid. And when we have Sheikh came and we give him a tour to this different place, and after finish, he not happy. He was crying. I said, why are you crying? This is church become masjid. You know, why does church become masjid? Because nobody come there. You know, something only old people. You know, when we have interfaith, can you notice that? Most people from the church, the old people. We are young people, right? He said the reason that the church, they sold the church, right? Because they didn't have make preparation. Because when the old people they die, the young people never come to masjid. We worry also, if we don't care about our youth, all this masjid will be empty one day. Yeah, may Allah protect us, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Ustaz Joban. We already know exactly how important for our life, and may Allah open our heart and our mind to remember most of the lesson learned that we have it from this session, and may Allah helping us to attach our heart will be always in the masjid, always longing to the masjid. When we leave the masjid, our heart always want to come back to the masjid, and inshallah not only for us so that we can be good example for our family, inshallah. So therefore we thank you for your participation in this session, and if there is any things that probably is not clear yet, probably you can ask Ustaz Joban in after we close this one formally. And again, sister, thank you very much. And therefore, we're gonna close this session. We'll cover from the masjid. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illallah anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.